Hey, it's Jaime with Echo Real Estate Advisors. Welcome back to the channel. Or if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another video. Whether you're buying a home, selling a home, or investing, this is the home for you. Today we're tackling a very common question, something that I get asked quite a bit from my home buyers, and that's which website should I use to search for properties? Now, putting it very simply, there are third-party data websites, and then there is the MLS. So we'll start with the MLS, the pros and cons with that as well. So the MLS stands for the Multiple Listing Service. So that's a portal that I input all of a property's information into, and that is essentially the originator. This is the source of the information. Now, third-party websites, commonly referred to as Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, Realtor.com, Homes.com, and I can keep going. These are third-party websites that get the information from the MLS. So that's the difference. There's the MLS, where that's the direct source of the information, where all of the agents go and put their information into the property's information, and that's what's being broadcast out. So whenever an agent sends you a listing from their MLS, you know that that's the originator of the source. And only agents have access to the MLS. So I should rephrase that. Up until recently, most of the time, agents were the ones that had access to the MLS. Now, the appeal for the Zillows of the world are the user interface. They get the information from the MLS, so you get most of the information is correct. But what happens more often than not, more often than I would care for, is information in the third-party websites. It's not always accurate. So you see the Z estimates. You see sometimes, which Z estimates just historically have not been the most accurate. They are good ranges sometimes, but they're not gonna be more accurate than somebody that's a local expert in that area and has access to information beyond Zillow. So just wanted to throw that in there. So the big appeal for third-party websites is their interface. Now, the downside to those third-party websites is sometimes that information is not accurate. When properties sell, sometimes it doesn't update on Zillow, so whenever you send that listing over to an agent, they regret to inform you that that property has already been sold. So it's a big downside. And it happens with leases, it happens with homes that have been for sale and they just don't get taken down. And so it's not the most accurate thing. However, the interfaces on the third-party websites, they're pretty good. They're top notch. So interface good, data is sometimes not as accurate. The MLS, just reverse that. The interface is archaic and not very easy to use, not user friendly, but the information is, for all intents and purposes, unless there was human error, spot on. Now, if we had a blend of the two, that would be phenomenal. And that's what I'm going to show you today. This is the front-facing side of the MLS, where you can now log into this website and have real-time information directly from the MLS, so you don't have to rely on some sketchy information sometimes from third-party websites, but you also don't have to be thrown back to the 1990s trying to figure out how to code to get a website to work. So let's just dig in. Again, the link will be in the description below. I'm just going to start off with any address so we can see what the back side of it looks like. We'll move this for now. Okay, here's how you navigate it. Up here you can put addresses, you can put zips if you want to be in a certain neighborhood, if you know that you want to be, as an example, I'm in the DFW area, and there's a neighborhood, Castle Hills, that I'm very familiar with, where I used to live actually. So I'll back out so you see the very intuitive feel. This looks like Google Maps. right? It's just something that you can navigate, very easy to to view, very easy to, it's uploading real-time information. And did we put any filters? The only filters we've placed on this right now is for sale. Pending means they're already under contract, and sold, that is a strategy that I'm going to share with you in another video, and it relates to contesting property taxes, so you won't want to miss that. Chances are that it's already up, so just browse around the channel. If you haven't subscribed, now would be a great time to do so, as you're going to get some inside information on how to contest your property taxes, but even beyond that, how to actually win, which is the whole point. All right, so we're gonna do just a quick search so you see how easy it is. Again, this is all information that I as an agent would have on the MLS side, and unless I sent you a safe property search or sent you shared a listing with you, you wouldn't have access to this information. So let's buy a home. Let's see, we want a home that is, we'll work with max. The max that I'm willing to pay for a home is $550 as an example. Okay, we'll dig in real quick. And now you see the homes that are available for sale in this price range. I'm not showing you anything new. I know that right now you're, oh wow, this is Zillow, this is Trulia, this is Realtor.com. It gets fun here in a few seconds. All right, well, we'll just go through the rest of the banner. The home type, if you're looking for a condo, townhouse, townhome, multifamily, or other, the amount of beds, the amount of baths, and some additional information. We won't go too much into that. I want you to see the data that you now have access to. So up until now, again, you're thinking, wow, this is MLS. I'm sorry, wow, this is Zillow. Great, great, Jaime. I could have gone to Zillow and done my home search by now. But when you click through, let's just go as this example. This one's for sale. Days on market is 6 days. The actual address, the asking price, beds, baths, square footage. Okay, so we're gonna click through and you're gonna see something different. Now, this right off the bat, you see the images. That's not necessarily different. But over here on the right-hand side, you're gonna see the mortgage calculator. And you have some additional filters that you can play around with. Now, a mortgage calculator is not new, but traditionally a mortgage calculator was needed in another tab. So you had to open another tab and do your calculations based on the home that you were looking at, and had to input information as you were looking for another home and trying to see what made sense. This is specific to this property. Now, I want you to make note of this real quick. The HOA is annual, and the HOA over here is monthly. That is something that's being addressed right now. Everything else is good to go. I just wanted to share that, where you have the mortgage calculator is going to take into account your taxes, your HOA, a good average of insurance in that area, and then your principal and interest that you're going to be responsible for, depending on how much you put down, the interest rate that you get, the loan type, and everything of the like. So this is all customized to you. This is customized for the property that you're looking at. So you don't have to open up another tab and see, well, if we bought this property, what would it look like based off of the property taxes? What would it look like based off of the HOA? You get a solid snapshot of what your monthly payment would be. As far as functionality, you get the images that you would get on Zillow. That's not particularly novel, but the fact that you're getting all of this information in one screen, notice we haven't needed to tab over to get some additional information. And some of this information is not even public information, so you get access to this in one screen. So you have the HOA, the estimated value, and we'll see what the estimated value looks like in a few seconds. Just a description of the property and some additional stats and features of the properties: the lot, the structure, the interior, listing details, public record. This is where you get to see where the taxes have been going. This is what you see what the taxes were assessed for that property. Now, again, this information, you could go to the CAD, but notice that we've already replaced 2 tabs. We don't need to go to the mortgage calculator tab, and also we don't need to open another tab to go to the CAD specifically for this property because it's already here. So you don't have to go to the Denton CAD or the Dallas CAD or any other CAD depending on where your home search is at, because it's right here. And we're going to keep scrolling down. Some additional facts about the property, some additional details about the property. So the HOA, the name of the HOA, which I'm quite familiar with. Now we get to the schools. We have all the schools available in that area. So this property belongs to 7 schools and they're highlighted there. So there's no guessing on, okay, which school does this property belong to? If I go here, will I be able to have access to this type of school or this school? It's right here for you. And it goes a step beyond that, where it gives you the student to teacher ratio, gives you the grade. And this is not something that I as an agent am making the representation, nor the MLS is making a representation. This is a third party that specifically addresses that, and it's something that is specifically designed to do. So this is something that is added on here, it's bolted on here, so you don't have to go, again, that other tab. You could very easily go to this website and find that specific information about the property. However, if you're on the 3rd property, on the 4th property, the 5th property that you're doing all of this homework for, then it gets tiring. Then home searching becomes just bad. Your home search just becomes very life draining and becomes a stressful situation, which if you're working with a good agent shouldn't be the case. I'm gonna give myself a shout out there. I don't consider myself a bad agent, so if you're working with me, it wouldn't be stressful to begin with, but this just makes it that much easier. So you get all this information. So what are we? We're on tab 3 that you're not having to go to, and or some of these services actually cost. A lot of this information is free, but there are some services out there that will charge you for premium information, which you're getting premium information right here. Now, valuation. I want to spend a few seconds here giving you the snapshot. Remember that we started off saying that on the third parties, people will choose Zillow, or will choose Trulia, or will choose Realtor.com. They'll make their decision on which property to search for. Which website to use to search property for. So you may be using Zillow right now. You may be using Realtor.com right now. Whatever you're using, yes, there is an estimated value. Zillow calls it their Zestimate. So there is a value that you see right there. So it's a guess, it's a range that Zillow believes, based off of their data, that this property is worth. However, here you get 4 different opinions. You get 4 opinions of worth. So again, I've seen this because not only was I a buyer from an investor standpoint, from a personal property, multiple personal properties, trying to do that homework myself, but when I became an agent, I see buyers with different sheets from their Zillows, from their Redfins, trying to come up with their own valuation, if you will, and just trying to get an average of everything. But it's right here. This is being done for you. So First American is a title company. BlackRock is a data provider for the mortgage and real estate industry. So they have powerful technology. And ePraisal, just like as it sounds, it's a electronic or an online appraisal. So you have 4 different opinions that are institutional opinions, very powerful in the real estate space, but they're aggregated together. Now, the caveat here, or just a little note here, this won't replace your agent's valuation. This won't replace what they're trained to do. So this, yes, I'm gonna work and look at this just to see what expectation has been framed for you. However, I'm still responsible for providing comps to you on every sale, whether you're selling or buying. I still am responsible for being the local expert in the area, which I still consider myself that, and I consider myself that with my past track record. So anyway, just wanted to provide a bit of clarity in that valuation part because it's important. And then valuation and transactions. So you get the Zillow 1 year, the 5 year, the First American 1 year, and the 5 year. So you get to see the trends. Not this one. Oh, maybe. Oh, it hasn't been sold, has it? Oh, this one's a first time sale. Look at that. All right, so if it's been sold, you're going to see the differences. Demographics, you see the household size in the area, the head of household age, percentage, if they have children, all that fun stuff, the education, level of education, occupation, income, net worth, ownership and residence. So this is in the general area. This gives you a snapshot of what you can expect from a on paper standpoint. And then you get the property history. So you have whenever there was an event, whenever it was sold, whenever yeah, this is the first time that it's being sold. So you have when it was built, and then you have the builders, and now this is the first time sale. That's why you're not seeing anything populated over here, because it hasn't been on Zillow. It hasn't been on First Night again is a home warranty company, so it hasn't had a transaction to base itself off of. And then you have people associated with the property. So this is all information that you get in one centralized spot. And I lost count, sorry, on how many tabs we were replacing, how many different calculations we needed to make. You see the power that you have right now. And this is information that you can trust, considering that you have direct information into the MLS. So you no longer have to hope and pray that that Zillow property that you found, that you forwarded to your agent, is actually still on the market and hasn't been sold 2 months prior, or hasn't been sold 6 months prior, or anything like that. So this is that perfect combination of the two, where you get real-time information, factual information, you get to save your searches, and the interface is top-notch, along with the data that you get in one centralized location. So if this is a property that you're interested in, all you need to do is go here, print it out, and you have something that is succinct, accurate, and ready to go when you're making your big decision on what you're gonna buy, which property you're gonna buy, and which area you're gonna buy. So anyway, that's it for this video. If there's any questions, comments, concerns, if you would like access to this information, it is in the description below. So remember, I'm a full-time realtor. If there's anything that I can do for you here in the DFW area, please feel free to reach out. Even if you're not in the DFW area, I do have a strong network based off of the agents that I use, that I work with on the Remind side, where I help educate them on the platform itself. So again, if there's any questions, comments, and concerns, I would love to help you. And if you would like to work together from a home buying, home selling, or investing, I'd be happy to help you as well.
Hey, it's Jaime with Echo Real Estate Advisors. Thanks so much for checking out one of my videos. Feel free to browse around for any additional topics that may be of interest to you. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another upload. Lastly, remember, I am a full-time realtor, so feel free to reach out and see how I may be of service. Thanks.